Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl Mary Jane. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like the video. Please share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peoples, my peeps. So today we're going to be talking about Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars, Family Edition, Season 8, Episode 4. Let's go. So we are going to start off by talking about this bullshit. I don't know if they should be filming someone with a alcohol abuse problem, basically, because it's good TV, but basically you're not really going to get something clear out of them because they're always drunk, which we'll be talking about Paula, which is Chad's mother. And then on top of that, we have Deborah. She has bounced to go secure that bag, to secure that ring, because she know her daughter got no love for her, period. And her ex-husband, Michael, is only going to be a yes man to Farrah because Farrah is making money. So it is what it is. So we get into it. You know, you see Paula in the morning time going to get a drink, early in the morning getting a drink. You got Dr. V, Dr. Ash watching her getting a drink. And they're talking about, you know, we're probably going to have to address this problem. Yeah, you motherfuckers going to have to address this problem. The reason why she's combative, the reason why she's acting up, the reason why she's good for TV is because she's freaking drunk. Who wouldn't be good for TV if you're drunk? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, everyone's in the kitchen, basically. And so, you know, Paula asks, you know, is Farrah, is Maximo, I believe Patty's there, I believe Kendra's there as well, in the kitchen is in the morning. And Paula asks, where is Deborah? And then that's when Farrah goes, oh, my mother, she's not here, you know, she left last night, you know, to go to some quote-unquote pool ball game, pinball game or whatever, some game or whatever. Maximo's in the corner like, oh my God, should I say something? Because I'm living in conflict. I just really want to tell Farrah that her mother is going to be going off to get hitched, to get engaged, you know? But I don't know if I should say something at this moment. And then that's when Kendra jumps in. And she's like, well, since your mom's not here and she left, when she comes back, all y'all motherfuckers need to bounce. You know what I'm saying? So Kendra's saying Deborah needs to bounce. Farrah needs to bounce, and Michael, the father, needs to bounce, because you know what? Your skin is not thick enough, tough enough for this. And if we can all endure the bullshit that's going on here, why should half of a family be here? You go, Kendra. I'm behind you on that. I never been behind you on anything, but I like that. And you know, Farrah doesn't say anything. She keeps her mouth closed. Oh, but she can come at Mrs. Who? Paula. So anyways, moving forward. So, you know, Maxima, he's sitting there just like, oh my, I think I need to say something already. I need to do something. Basically, you know, he's just in conflict because he has this little secret. And you see from this behavior that Maximo is showing us, this is one of the reasons why him and his brothers don't get along, because they call him a drama queen, basically. Right now, he's acting like a drama queen because he feels like this is like life and death information that he has, which is not. It's nothing new to Farrah. It's nothing new to Michael. It's nothing new to us. And we don't even know the bitch. So, and plus the cameras are recording everything, so the cameras know this, the doctors know this. Maximo, like, you don't know there's cameras everywhere, come on. So we move on from that. And so then we get everyone sitting at the table. And so, you know, Paula, she's talking about babies, mothers, people having babies and being single moms and pumping baby out of this one, pumping baby out of that one. So it seems like, you know, Paula's taking a shot at her son Chad, and she's also taking a shot at Farrah. I'm assuming, because Farrah is a single mom, but her baby daddy died in a car accident, I'm assuming. So then Farrah gets upset, and so Farrah says, you know, I don't know why you're so combative with the doctors, number one. Then on top of that, ain't you like some type of great grandmother, you know, calling Paula out, like, ain't you some type of great grandmother? Why are you talking about grandkids and baby mamas and stuff? Don't you got a bunch of grandkids you want to nurture? You know what I'm saying? So Paula was like, oh, you shut up, you rude bitch. So, you know, Paula is like, you know, okay, this bitch is just too much. So then you see Maximo, he jumps into the conversation and he asks, you know, what's her name? Paula. He asks Paula, If Chad was to treat you like the number one woman in his life and he made you number one, how would you feel? And then, Paula jumps up, like, I would feel great. I would feel wonderful if he did that, because no one should come before me, because I'm the mama. I'm his mama. I should be number one, and that's how it should be. Not him and his kids. His kids and his baby's mamas, they can bury him, basically. It don't have to be me, but I should be number one. And then Chad is like, what are you talking about? I don't want to be like you as a parent, because you abandoned me, so I'm not going to abandon my kids. And that's why they're so important to me. That's why they number one to me, because I don't want to make the same mistakes that you made. So it's just like they're going back and forth, and Maximo is right in the middle of it, and his brothers is watching their brother do his dirty work, because he likes drama. So we're kind of seeing some of the behaviors, the reason why Maximo's brothers are not feeling him, and they still call him Frank instead of Maximo. So it's just like, okay, we're gonna get into it. And so it's just like, Mike is like, Mike sees the situation, and the situation sees the situation between Paula, and she's seen the situation between Chad arguing and fussing, basically, about the baby mama issue, the kids, and being number one. So Mike said, Maximo's like, this is just totally, like, unforgivable, the way they talk to each other and all that other stuff. But I'm surprisingly, the situation is basically saying some real shit. He was like, by any means, the way that Paula communicates with Chad is not by any means good, or I'm okay in it, how she communicates with anybody, but the way she communicates with Chad is just their form of communication. That's just how they talk. That's just where they from. That's just how they get down. And we talked about that in the last episode. And then also, and on this episode, Dr. Ish and Dr. V touches on this, that, at the end of the show, when they had the evaluation, Dr. Ish and Dr. V was saying that we have to make sure that we can get with Chad and Paula to make sure that they don't communicate at 100 when they're all upset, but catch it at a 2 and a 3 to talk to each other on a calm, normal type of conversation. So Mike does have a point, the same point that we talked about in the last episode. And also, not to mention that, when Paula finds out that Deborah bounced, Paula was like, I would bounce too, because Farrah is so disrespectful and she's rude to her mother. She didn't want to sit here and take that abuse. And that's the same shit I said in the last episode. But basically, Paula, you have no room to talk, because the way you disrespect Chad is terrible. And then the way you talk about how you don't want no parts of your grandkids' life and all this other stuff is horrific. And also, Paula commented on what is her name, Kendra, being heartless because she won't let her 2 young children see their grandmother. And so, Paula was like, that is mad heartless. That's really heartless. But then on the other hand, you're also heartless too as well, because you don't even want to be bothered with your grandkids. You don't even want to see them because you feel like you're in competition with your grandkids. I don't know if that is actually how you feel, or is that the alcohol talking? Because clearly you have been drinking throughout this season and every episode, and the doctors are monitoring you. So I don't know if it's favorable for you to continue to be on the show when it's like you're being exploited, because you do have a sickness, you have a disease. Alcoholism is a disease. So anyways, but it's entertaining. So moving on forward from that, so Maximo's still in his conflict because he got some information. He is just too much. And so Paula, she does her thing because she wants to be number one. And then on top of that, Paula calls, at the end of the conversation I was having at the table with Chad, she calls her grandkids damn monkeys. This is why alcoholism is a problem. Drinking is a problem, especially drinking before 8 a.m. is a problem. She called her grandkids monkeys. Then she walks out the room talking about, it ain't my fault. I guess she be listening to Master P. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. And so then Farrah is just like, I just can't do this. I just can't deal with the way that she addresses me, basically. But you also notice when all the housemates are called outside to start their football, it's called the exercise feedback football exercise, basically. And Farrah comes out dressed like her mother would dress, in her leopard pants and some stripes on it. So it's like she's taking over while her mother's going dressing like the slut. Basically, it is what it is. So then they talked about Thanksgiving, how important Thanksgiving is. Mike and his brothers, Mark, Maximo, and Mike, they talk about Mike, the situation that, Mike wasn't around last Thanksgiving or Christmas because he was in rehab. Kudos to Mike for being in rehab. But I also want to know if is Mike doing any type of steroids, because he is big. Mike is bigger than he ever was. And I'm kind of digging Mike a little bit on this show, but Jersey Shore and all the other reality shows, and also the roast of that asshole Trump, I wasn't digging Mike. But he seems like he has meddled out a lot, and he's more mature on this show. So we'll see. I might regret them words. So anyways, that Farrah talks about how, Thanksgiving was not based around football like all these other families. It wasn't based around football. Football had nothing to do with her family Thanksgiving. Of course not. The only thing that was going on in Farrah Thanksgiving at the table was about her taking cum shots, eating cum, licking ass, getting fucked, lying on her parents, being abused, crying, woe is me. That was all that was at the table. And Farrah goes, it's kind of hard to deal with my parents 24 hours. Or how many hours I spend with them. But basically, maybe if you had football at your table, not to say that I have football at my table, but I'm just, for Thanksgiving, it's just like, Farrah, if you didn't have football, we know what you had at the table. Your father was out cheating, or he was at the table shaking because he wants to make sure that he don't offend you or his wife. I can only imagine how horrific your Thanksgiving was. Only imagine. Then Farrah talking about, I just been neglected. So we know that your Thanksgiving was horrific. And so Chad is actually happy, because he hasn't been on the football field in 6 years since he, lost his contract for the abuse allegations and so forth with, homegirl that's on Basketball Wives. So anyways, they have to pick out jerseys. These jerseys has negative content on them. And so then you cut to the three brothers, Mike the Situation, Maximo, and Mark. And Mark was like, how come none of this shit is positive? How come all the therapy sessions are negative? I'm surprised this is coming from you, Mark, because you are so negative and you talk so much shit and you're so disrespectful to your brothers that you're complaining about it as being negative. So maybe these therapy sessions are way too negative and it's not working for Mark. So anyways, the jerseys are resentful, arrogant, ignorant. So basically, everyone has to get a jersey, but the house members will vote on who deserves which jersey. Mike's Situation, like, I don't even know these people, and so Dr. Ish is like, pick out whoever you have known these people for enough time. Whatever you've seen from them, base it off that. So we get the jersey names are arrogant, bitter, indifferent, judgmental, heartless, profession, fake, cruelty, loyal, resentment. So that's what it is. So the house members have to vote. So Paula votes Farrah for every jersey except for Heartless. She gives that to Kendra, but every chance that Paula gets, she's voting Farrah and for every jersey. She goes, Farrah. She goes, in my honest opinion, I think it's Farrah. But Paula also voted that when cruelty came up, Paula also voted that, she says to Chad, she whispers to Chad and she goes, cruelty should go to Dr. V because she's a cruel bitch. Basically, that means therapy is working for Paula, I guess. So it is what it is. And so then, judgmental, Paula goes, I vote for Farrah. And Farrah is like, you know what? Since this bitch is voting me for everything and all this other stuff, because she's on her high mountain looking down on me, fuck her. Fuck Paula, basically. That's what Farrah says. And then Paula looks at her and goes, Farrah, it's just a game. It's only just a game. So now you can see Paula is getting at Farrah and Farrah is getting back. And Farrah is getting pretty upset. When Paula says, in my eyes, the only way I see is Farrah. Basically, Paula needs to be working on her drinking problem instead of Farrah. But how can you ignore Farrah? Tell me, how can anybody in their right mind ignore her? So anyways, you know, Paula goes, it's just the game. And Farrah has like, I got problems. And so, you know, it is what it is. And then Dr. V shuts down the argument between Paula and Farrah, like, you know, let's just stop. Let's get over it. And then they're just like, everyone's just like looking, okay, this is entertaining. So anyways, they shut down them two arguing. I thought that was funny because I wanted them to keep arguing. So Mike, the situation, he gets, his jersey is arrogant. And then Mike, the father, from Farrah's father, he gets indifferent. And fate goes to Deborah, which Deborah's not there because she bounced. And then heartless goes to Kendra. And then judgmental goes to Farrah. And then Paula gets cruelty. And Maximo, he gets bitter. And Mark gets loyalty. And Patty gets cruel, evidently. And so basically, and also Mike, the situation, calls out, you know, Maximo, because he said, Maximo, won't you stop being a bandwagon motherfucker, basically, because, you know, Mark tells Maximo how to vote, you know what I mean, for Kendra. And then, you know, Maximo waits for everybody else and then makes his decision. And Mike just calls him out and says, stop being a bandwagon. Stop trying to please everybody. Just vote how you feel. So now you're seeing the behaviors that Maximo is exhibiting to make his brothers kind of like have this taste for him. But these behaviors that Maximo is showing us is not warranted for the cruelty of his brothers yet. But I guess we're going to see more. So anyways, Dr. V and Dr. Ishigos asks Paula, how does she feel about getting the jersey? Cruelty, you know, earlier she said that cruelty goes to Dr. V. And so and Paula goes, okay, whatever, Witchy Poo. What does that get you, basically? That's what the Dr. V asks, you know, Paula. And Paula goes, what does it get you? And then, you know, Paula goes, once you figure out, you're the doctor, you know it all. And the doctor goes, no, no, no. Then Paula goes, no, 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 back at you. I'm like, yeah. She goes, no, 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 back at you. And you know, Chad is just standing there looking horrified. He just don't know what to do. Everybody else is just looking like, oh shit, here comes the wrath of Paula. So anyways, they said, so what does this all spell out for you? What are you hearing by this? And she goes, whatever you want, whatever you directed towards me, I'm directing it back towards you. Anyways, and Paula is like, okay, bitch ass. But she says this not out loud. She says this in her head, and she's just like, you know, she's combative and she's challenging Dr. V. Her and Dr. V are not getting along, but I basically believe it's because Dr. V is hitting the buttons. She goes, no, 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 back at you. And Dr. V is like, okay, Dr. V is like, should I just get real hood? Should I get street? I don't know, because this doctor shit ain't working right now. But a lot of this, especially this episode, made me question, is these doctors real doctors? I don't know. I have no idea. So anyways, you know, basically, and Dr. V goes, oh, you try to bully everybody in the house to make sure that they don't say anything negative about you. So I'm like, okay, all right, here we go. And so then, you know, Chad, he's happy that he's on a football field again. He feels good. Basically, everyone feels competitive and ready to win. But there's a hitch to the game. You can have as many the more scores you have, that means you're going to lose, because basically the game is based on whatever jersey that's assigned to you that is negative. If you show any of these negative traits while you are playing this football game, your team gets a penalty, basically. And then you lose, you know what I mean? So if you show any of these arrogant, heartless, bitter, cruel, spiteful, all the bullshit, you're gonna lose the game. So anyways, we have Farrah. Farrah gets knocked out by her father, and then she exaggerates it at dinner. So this is why I'm saying Farrah is a liar. She goes, I was thrown in the air and tossed over and hit the ground as hard as possible, basically. And then she starts crying and she's whining like a baby. Basically, her father's in his confession. He goes, who cares about her crying? That's all she always do is play the victim. Woe is me. Woe, somebody hurt me. Woe, somebody did this to me. So now you're finally seeing Michael, Farrah's father, actually stepping up and having some balls. He's actually getting some balls, but he's not saying this to his daughter. So it's just like, okay. And so, people get flagged, for being overly competitive, being bitter and all this other good stuff. And then Maximo being bitter. And because, Frank wouldn't throw the ball to him, Maximo's like, I'm open. And then Maximo gets bitter and says, I was open. So it's a lot of things that is going on. And it's just like, okay, I'm so glad Farrah's father tackled her. And he didn't really tackle her. He just pulled her flag, and she turned around slightly, not even 360 all the way around, or 250 turn, or a 180 turn. Not even that much. And she's just crying. She's getting sympathy and attention from the doctors, but her father doesn't come over there to nurture her or to say, oh, you're okay, because he's used to her playing this game. He's used to her being, oh, woe is me as victim. So it is what it is. And so then everyone, it's dinner time. Everyone's at the table. Basically, the losing team has to serve the winning team. And the losing team's in the kitchen, got to serve the Thanksgiving dinner. They're taking their time. They're eating. They're talking shit. They're saying, oh, they're the sensitive team. That's why they won, because they're the sensitive team and all that other good stuff. And, Farrah, she's yelling for somebody to come out and serve her, basically being the bitch that she is. And so it is what it is. And so if they're eating, Farrah talks about her father not being there for her and all this other stuff. So then the other guests at the table, the other teammates on both teams, talk about, they get at Farrah basically, but it's like they're trying to get under her skin. It was like, oh, your mom's not here, she's gone. Then your father wasn't really indifferent when he just left you crying over there. That was Maximo throwing that in. And I think Kendra threw something in about her mother not being there, or it was Patty that threw something in about Farrah's mother's not being there, basically, because they're cracking on Farrah's mother not being at the table. They're like, say, oh, look at her plate, because no one's eating her plate. Then they're talking about they should have put a jersey on top of the chair to represent Deborah being there at the table and all this other stuff. So it's kind of getting under Farrah's skin, and I believe that's what the other guests are trying to do. And so, Farrah goes on her little rant like, oh, this is just. And so then you get Paula, and then Paula goes, if you was my daughter, I would knock each and every one of your teeth out of your mouth, because you're a disrespectful, rude little bitch. And then Kendra goes, I believe her. Patty goes, I believe her too. And Chad is just sitting at the table like, damn, Ma, you gotta go here. I know she's a disrespectful bitch, but goddamn, do you gotta do all this, Ma? Do you gotta do this, Ma? Ma, do you gotta do this? And Patty's like, yes, I gotta do this. I would knock each one of your fucking teeth out your mouth. Each and every one of them fucking teeth out your mouth. I will, one by one, I would take them out and take them down. And then it was funny when they had the teams, and then the doctor said that whatever team that you're on, this is your new family. And Kendra was like, these ain't my motherfucking family members. But on one team, you had Maximo, you had Michael, you had Michael, Farrah's father, you had Paula, and you had Mark. On the other team was Mike the Situation, Patty, Farrah, and Chad, basically. And they win. That team wins. So anyway, so now it's time for the evaluation time. So it's time for evaluation. Of course, who lose is going to be Farrah and her family, because a team member was absent. So basically, they spin the wheel. It's the doctor's choice, and the doctor's choice is to give Michael, the father, a ball to carry so he can have some balls, because he's starting to get some, basically. And it is what it is. And then, Paula gets into it again with Dr. V. It's just a non-stop thing. They're always going to constantly go at it, basically. And so Paula's going at it so much with Dr. V. So they asked Paula, so how do you feel being voted cruelty and being voted the crueltest? So Paula goes, they didn't vote me for the cruelties. My people's over here did not vote me for cruelty. It was you, Dr. V. You voted it. You chose that. But you already know that Paula done already had a few drinks before she's sitting here, and everyone's noticing that, okay, Paula is fucked up right now at this moment. So then after that, you get, and so then Dr. V goes, so then Paula goes, I'm the boss. I run him. I run my own team. I run me. I run my own program, basically. So I don't know what you motherfuckers is thinking, but I run this. And so Farrah says out loud, "Is this a joke?" That's the one thing that was funny when Farrah said, "Is this a joke?" I don't know, Farrah. Is it a joke? You're here. Is it a joke? And so then that's when Paula says, "Oh, shut up, Farrah. Mind your fucking business before I knock your teeth out." But she didn't say that. But that's what she mean. She and she calls her another disrespectful little bitch, basically. And so then that's when Dr. V says it's goodnight to Paula. So Paula goes upstairs or whatever, and she screams off the balcony talking about you broom Hilda witch or broom Hilda. I don't know if she was directing that towards Dr. V or she was directing that towards Farrah. I don't know. You got to tell me, basically. And Dr. Ish and Dr. V is just like, okay, we have a lot to work on with Paula and Chad. We can't let it get to 10. Let's just try to control it when it's like 1 or 2, which the same way that, the situation was saying that's just how they communicate. But we got to work on a better communication. And so anyways, and so Maximo is still in conflict whether he should tell whether he should tell Farrah that the mother is going to probably be coming back engaged. But Maximo does tell Farrah's father about the situation. And Farrah's father, Michael, says, don't say anything to Farrah because she might really not let her grandkids see their mom now. And it might be very explosive. So it is what it is. And so then, Farrah's in the jacuzzi with Maximo. Because I know Maximo wants to run the business because he wants some drama. He wants to see some bullshit, basically. And so then Paula comes outside with a drink and she's smoking a cigarette. And then Farrah says something to her. She says something to Farrah. I don't know. And so then that's when Paula goes, won't you shut the fuck up with your fake hair, your fake boobs, your fake ass. Get the fuck out of here. And Farrah was speechless. So please like and subscribe. Share the video. It would be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart.